The following PBS presentation is brought to you by Daytoli Cancer Center, dedicated to life. Armel Jewelers, since 1967. Member, American Gem Society. The Jewish Federation, the strength of people, the power of community. Van Wezel Foundation, inspiring our audience, our children, our community. Caragiulo's Restaurants, defining Sarasota dining since 1989. Featuring Shore.
We're proud to be the presenting sponsors for the series Diamonds Along the Highway. I'm originally from Alabama, but I have lived in Florida since I was 13 years old. And there's nothing more powerful than being near the water. It's the gentle breezes in the evenings, the wonderful people. You can't beat it. It's home. From our home to your home. Premier Sotheby's International Realty.
The impact is not this fluffy idea that, oh, we just ought to smile and everything is good. Art is a part of life. Art expresses all of the aspects of being a human being.
It's about embracing differences through art and education on Diamonds Along the Highway.
Frank was putting on a party here.
The last of a dying era right here.
This is Dodgertown.
I should be the change I wish to see in the world.
The McGillicuddy family name is planted firmly in Americana. You might know the abbreviation MAC, as in Connie Mack, baseball legend.
My name is Dennis McGillicuddy, and I am chairman of the board of Embracing Our Differences.
His grandson Dennis is doing his own to further the family legacy. Not through baseball, but through art, education, and understanding.
This wall has pictures of from the time that my grandfather, who was Connie Mack, the owner and manager of the Philadelphia Athletics for 50-some years. And he was referred to as the grand old man of baseball because he was around for so many years, but he truly was a grand old man because he just loved people. He did so many charitable, generous things for people that nobody ever knew about. He was a beautiful man.
Headed by 83-year-old Connie Mack, Dean of Baseball, the Athletics take up their chores for 1946 at West Palm Beach. Here's hoping baseball's grand old man will be in there pitching for many another year.
In 1915, he was the most famous person in all of the United States.
Wow.
So my dad, who grew up in the shadow of a very famous person, had a real understanding of how to deal with fame and what that meant to each individual and what it could do to your character and what you could expect out of it. And he basically said to us, Connie, Michael, and Susie and I, the four oldest of the children, never walk away from the fact that you're the son, the grandson, or the granddaughter of a very famous person, but never expect that it will get you more than people might listen to your first lines out of your mouth. So it really put it in perspective to not deny it, nor think it gets you anything special.
Right.
My dad really influenced me greatly about how to treat other people. When we were little kids and just moved to Fort Myers, one Saturday morning, a group of us from our neighborhood, which was a block away from, and you have to remember, this is maybe 1951, 52. There was the public golf course was there. And at that point, there were no golf carts, and all the caddies were black. And we went over there, a group of us ended up in a football game, touch football game with the caddies, and we were all mixed up on different teams. And I'll never forget the experience. I mean, it was mostly, they were, everybody, I was one of the youngest there, so kids were taller than I am, or that I was at the time. And anyhow, we just had the best time. And it was interracial. I mean, and there was no issues about it. We get home, our phone is ringing off the wall from some of the parents of the kids that I went over there with. And they were upset about it and didn't think it was appropriate that we be playing football with these black kids. And my dad sat us down after the phone calls and said, you know, our society is not in very good shape right now with the way black people are treated. I want you to know your mom and I fully respect black people, and they should not be treated differently. And you did nothing wrong. You need to learn from this experience and stand up for what's right. What you believe in your heart is right.
You see, I've got a home that right, don't you see? I've got a home in that rock.
I think that, like, just because they have bionic arms and a leg, it doesn't mean it holds them back from doing all the things they love to do, like running or doing handstands or cartwheels.
The start of embracing our differences happened here in Sarasota in 2004 when the Florida Holocaust Museum, which is in St. Petersburg, sponsored a traveling exhibit called Coexistence that had been around to all the major capitals in the world, particularly those that had conflicts, to promote the idea of, quote, coexistence. Part of the exhibit are quotations, and we have really gotten the kids engaged in creating quotations around it. So now we kind of embrace the notion of using art as a catalyst and also creative writing. Thousands and thousands of kids each year sitting in their classrooms thinking about what art they're going to create, using language about it, is an amazing teaching experience.
It grows every year. This year, 2013, we'll have about 25,000 students from around 180 some different schools.
My tour guide this day is Michael Shelton, the executive director for Embracing Our Differences.
Last year, we had about 249,000 people that came to visit the exhibit over the 2 months that it was up. First year, which, by the way, we had 126 submissions. Okay? This year, we had 4,419 submissions.
The skin and everyone's clothes and their hair color and their eyes and everything else, that everyone's the same on the inside. And
we have docents through the Riverview High School International Baccalaureate program that assist the teachers, kind of control the kids. When you bring in an entire grade of, school of fifth graders, and you've got 150 fifth graders, and you bring them in, it's kind of like trying to herd cats on the Titanic at some point. Okay, so we give them those kind of tools. The future lies with their children, and the whole idea is to start a conversation.
They all love each other, even though they are different, and you can see how there's families holding hands, and they all seem to get along. And can someone please read the quote?
Think about any place, anywhere, anybody, and we've probably gotten art from them. Our growth as an international exhibit has certainly been fueled and determined by the internet. There's no way in the world that we could have reached out to Muhammad, who, from Isfahan, Iran, to solicit art with him, from him without the power of the internet. There are issues with trying to get international artists coming into the country and getting the visas to come in.
Artist exchange, that type of thing.
Well, not so much artist exchange, but just coming as a visitor. We have had problems with that. We pick 78 every year for display, and it comes from all parts of the world.
As I've perused the park here, this caught my eye. This is a special piece. Could you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, it is a special piece. This particular piece was selected by visitors to the park. Out of about 1,000 visitors who were surveyed, who got to vote, they selected this piece. It's the People's Choice. It's done by 10th graders from Booker High School, and it's called "It's All Up to You Now," and it really sums up our view of what we do. There was a group of third graders who came down here from an elementary school and asked them, what they saw here. One little girl looked up and says, "It's God passing the world on to the next generation."
And that's a big mantra of this whole exhibit, really, is that to develop that critical thinking, think on your own, be open.
Right.
But this piece, you've got to be extremely proud that this is a Booker teacher, right?
Absolutely.
A Booker student.
Absolutely.
And the world voted this the best.
Anything that comes out of the Booker Nation, the Emma Booker Elementary School, the Booker Middle School, the high school, They're incredible kids.
Well, that old line, remember the line, think globally, act locally?
Exactly.
Right, so this is a perfect example of this in work here.
Exactly, and it's also a great work of art.
Wade didn't do a cliche. He found a piece, an idea that dealt with a generation passing forward to a younger generation. I've never seen that idea. And like I said, 10 years I've seen and done Embracing Differences. I'm Jeff Cornwell. I teach at Booker High School. I'm an adjunct artist in residence. I look for those ideas. I look for that and then to encourage that idea. So Wade's idea was very much original, and the way he designed it, the way he approached it. So this is Mr. Wade Turner.
Wade.
Hey, how are you? Our winner, Embracing Differences.
I've seen your work. Right? I've seen one of your pieces of work. I'm very impressed.
Oh, thank you.
How does an idea like that, if you will, come to you?
When I thought of the image, it actually turned out to be like a little happy accident, because you never really knew or understood the actual value or meaning of the images not until after you completely analyzed it. Because when I first doodled it, I was thinking generations, like, okay, here's a little boy, here's a little man, here's a globe, here's a paintbrush. I have taught you everything you know, and it's up to you, since I will not be around anymore, it's up to you to paint the new face of the world.
You guys working together, you mentioned the master and the student kind of relationship, the artist, Jeff's an artist. How did that help you in the encouragement through not only embracing our differences, but through your art as a whole?
What kind of pain was I really?
I'll admit, you were the guy that always pushed me to thinking further, because I might come up with one or two ideas. You're like, you got any more?
Are you good?
When I look at myself, no. Comparing to other artists, I'm not. But that tells me I need to improve even more.
It's all up to you now.
It is. Then he's going to be the master. Teach some young person.
Nice.
I see these young people that now 3 years I've been here, I've watched them more involved and actively involved with each other. I think they're very, very kind, very nice people. And I want to hope that I had some little bit of spark to think about someone beyond yourself.
Right.
And that's what I think Embracing Differences does. I think art has a very powerful voice.
Hi, I'm Jada Sheeler. I'm co-president of Coexistence Club, and I have been a docent for the Embracing Our Differences organization for about 3 years now.
My name is Vlad Ladchuk. I'm the co-vice president of the Coexistence Club in Riverview High School, and I have been docenting for about 3 years.
The kids, I think, really, at first when they get there, they don't fully get it. And then when we step in as docents and try to explain it and try to get them to communicate and connect to it, I think that a lot of them step away with a lot better understanding and better appreciation of it. If what I try to do is I try to get them to personally find a connection to the piece and talk about it that way, because I think you can't really care, and it won't make as big of an impact if you can't personally connect it somehow or connect it to something around you so that you can relate it and really get it.
I'm originally from Ukraine, and when I was born, I had a not fully formed right leg. Some people believe it's due to the radiation from Chernobyl. Other people just say it just happens. What happened was that in Ukraine, I had multiple surgeries. I had about 6 or 7, maybe even 8. I kind of lost track, and then they were mostly unsuccessful. I came to America, and then the doctors here told me that the only thing that they could do was amputate a part of it. I got a prosthesis, and then my life just found a new meaning.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child.
In Ukraine, I was severely bullied. I felt like I wasn't a part of the society. I thought that people believe that handicapped people should just stay home and they should stay there. But here, it doesn't feel like that whatsoever. Now I can safely say that I am one of the most confident people, maybe even in the school, because instead of a yearbook, I brought my old plastic leg to get it signed.
I was born with kind of a rare birth defect called cloacoextrophy. It's really complicated, but basically, like, babies, they're in two halves and they come together, but I didn't come all the way together, so I had all sorts of abdominal problems, but they've mostly fixed it. But, you know, I've still got some issues, like I'll go to the hospital sometimes, and so we kind of get the idea of the program. Like, I really love all the pictures that speak about, like, birth defects and, like, invisible illnesses.
What was your favorite artistic piece that you guys have taken in at the Embracing Our Differences exhibit?
It's this picture of a boy with a prosthetic leg and a girl with a prosthetic arm, and they're holding hands, and there's a little heart, and it's cute because it's drawn by a little kid. And we loved that one because we were like, oh my gosh, look, it's like us. And we thought it was cute how, like, their differences brought each other together.
One of my favorite pieces of artwork is when a kid in a wheelchair is just playing basketball, and I did that myself too for about 2 years. He's not sitting and just saying, I'm handicapped so I can't do anything. He's not letting his disability be a setback, but actually push him forward. That is one of the biggest things that I strive to make sure that the little kids get.
You remember the day when you guys first met and you had a moment where it was, you just kind of, was it kind of one of those kismet moments where you said, hey, she's cool, or?
But yeah, well, that's definitely what she thought about me, because the name, well, she said that the name Vlad definitely stood out, and then after a few days she noticed my plastic leg. Just the fact that she understood so many things that I understood, and she not necessarily went through, but she sympathized, and even in a sense empathized, created even more of a closer bond than if it was someone who didn't have a disability. That it's just people who understand what you went through, there's just a much closer bond, much closer relationship. And so I asked her out, and we've been dating just ever since.
Oh, wow. That's great. That's a great part of the story.
Yeah. The reason that I was never bullied is the way I view myself. I think it's a lot of a self-esteem thing and a lot of, like, allowing people to get to you thing. And I think that if you have the original thought process of, like, confidence and this really doesn't matter, but if more people could be raised thinking that way, then I think that not just bullying would stop, but, like, allowing yourself to be affected as far by bullying would be a lot less as well, because confidence really makes a huge difference in self-esteem, and the whole message of embracing our differences really plays into that, which I like.
No, I don't want to say don't care about what other people think, but confidence within oneself is a lot stronger than confidence given to you from someone else.
Did he chase you?
No, I chased him. I chased him really bad. It was bad.
And you caught him.
Yeah, I did. I did. I'm good at getting what I want. What can I say?
Dennis McGillicuddy's co-chair is his co-chair in life, his wife, Graci. You guys are married 51 years. You met in college. Mm-hmm. You guys embraced a lot of differences or a few differences?
I would say a lot. We can agree on that. Yeah. But it's been an amazing journey.
It's the first time Dennis and I ever co-chaired anything before in our lives, and it's just been a real joy in working with my husband and watching him lead the board and take embracing our differences to an amazing level. You learn prejudice and you learn hatred from the people around you. By the same token, you can learn to embrace differences, to be kind and to be good.
But we all know that habits, the way people behave, become habits. The way they think, then it becomes how they act. And can you imagine the impact on a community where a child who starts in kindergarten first gets their taste of embracing our differences and can go right through our school system here every year and be touched by embracing our differences? That's how you change a community.
Change the world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Booker Elementary, the school that President George W. Bush was visiting on 9/11. Booker's true legacy, however, stands for the exact opposite of what occurred on that dark day in September.
Hello, my name is Cliche Henry, and I'm a 5th grade teacher at Emma E. Booker Elementary School. So, Jeremy, Joseph, and Mania, we've been talking about embracing our differences. And with embracing our differences, we want to look at some of the art and discuss what was the artist's theme. The artist chose spices to use as the material for her painting. What do we know about spices?
They give flavor to food.
Spices give flavor to food. We could all come together to make the world a better place. Mania said, even when we come together to make this world a better place, it is our discussion, it's our talking together, which is very important. I first went to Embracing Our Differences and I saw the art. It wasn't just like going to see an exhibit. I saw what I could teach my kids. And I say my kids because I'm single, so I don't have kids, so I call them my babies, my kids. And I want learning to be outside of the classroom.
You went down to the exhibit and you kind of camped out with the kids.
Yeah, I did. I did. And when we went to as we were walking and we were looking at every exhibit, I didn't need the docent. I did me. My kids had a sheet, so they were looking forward to something, and they had to find 3 vocabulary words that they did not know. They had to sketch, like at the bottom I gave them a piece to sketch their own art for the next year. And then we talked about, like, they had to write down 3 quotes that most were influential to them. So it's not just, oh, I'm just walking around, because that can be boring.
Right.
But if you're really hunting and looking for something that's going to mean something to you, then it makes the experience, because I don't want it just to be a trip. I want it to be an experience for them. It makes it more meaningful. They own it then.
Mr. McGillicuddy has said, when you start that young, it's a hope that you can continue that kind of kindness path, if you will, from kindergarten on up.
How could we make living art right now? And it was just the coolest thing. My kids all put their hands together to show that no matter our different skin colors, our shades, the size of our hands, our nails, that we were all together. Like, we were putting our hands in a pot and we were intertwining. So then when they get to those awkward ages in middle school and the peer pressure is real, then they can remember from 3rd grade, from 4th grade, from 5th grade, some of those images in those talks can come back to them, and they can remember it and say, okay, you know what? I can do this. I can survive middle school. We have seen so much violence when it comes to bullying, and my kids have just finished their bullying lessons. We watch out for one another. It's about the togetherness and embracing our differences. This is what good people do, and this is how small children can help change the world. When I believe that and I live that, my babies, they believe that, and they really do. They rise to the occasion. And sometimes it's like you can go in the back room and you're like, they get it, and you have it like you wipe a tear and we share our stories. But it's getting better.
You believe this?
I love what I do. It's my passion, and now that I've found this is just another tool to teach my kids a real life lesson.
You're making a difference.
Yeah, thank you.
You know what?
Thank you.
That's really sweet. You inspired me today.
Thank you.
Thank you, as they did as well.
Somewhere down the road, when I'm dead and gone, when I'm buried, that one of these people will carry that on.
Carry the torch.
Carry the torch, make a difference, make a change.
Somebody will always be somebody else's victim. It's always going to be that way. Okay? We can't fix everybody and how they act. What we can hopefully do is give those who are the victims of other people's behavior the tools to cope and to compensate.
That's what we are, is embracing our differences. And it's not, you should be a certain way. It's, I should be the change I wish to see in the world.
I am a poor, wayfaring stranger, traveling through this world of woe, and there's no city faced all the danger in that bright land to which I go.
If you're interested in the talented musical artists featured in Diamonds Along the Highway, discover Sarah Elizabeth Berkey and Tyrone Cotton.
I'm breaking away out on my own.
Diamonds was made possible by the following: Premier Sotheby's International Realty, Bookstore One Sarasota, Books, Events, Love of Community, Art to Walk On, Fine Oriental Carpets, Galleria Selechia, an international collection of fine art, As Good as It Gets, Extraordinary Delicacies, Scene Magazine, connecting the community for more than 57 years, My Green Buildings, custom-crafted homes on the Gulf Coast, Radio SRQ, Rebecca Bellotti of Morgan Stanley, DeCac Insurance, protecting you is our family business, Gil and Elisabeth Waters, and the Sarasota Film Society.